The past 2 weeks, the Wildcats have had some good and bad times on the road. It's no better way to describe it against Silver Lake. They did a lot of things extremely well and putting away the Lakers easily 28-8. But then last week against Barnstable, it looked like it was going to be more of the same, the way the defense was making things happen on the field. But the Wildcats fell to the Red Raiders by the score of 10-6 tonight. The Tigers of Taunton amble on the Legion Field as they have won 2 of their first 3 games, as they have defeated Plymouth South and Durfee while falling last week to Quincy. The Wildcats feel that, well, that they got to come right after Taunton, make things happen right away in order to make things positive for themselves. As the Wildcats and Taunton will be ready to go in just a moment. Back for the opening kickoff from Legion Field. As the crowd still making their way in the Legion Field on a very beautiful night for football, temperature in the 50s, very little wind, as the Wildcats and the Tigers get ready to square off here at Legion Field. Taunton won the toss and has elected to receive. The Wildcats will be kicking from left to right. Johnny Lydon will get us going as Lydon drifts a high kick. Taken at about the 20 and out to about the 28 goes Todd Lato. As the Wildcats, Johnny Lydon, who has been hitting the ball to about the 10 for the most part during this 1994 season so far, as the Tigers offensively, quarterback Steve Santos inherits the quarterback duties from Eddie Nadeau, and the tailback Eddie Holt, a key individual, as those will be 2 of the featured individuals as far as the skilled positions go for the Tigers. Also look for Chad Soderberg, one of the wideouts, as the Wildcats and the Tigers squaring off. Eddie Holt and the Tiger Express, as they like to call it. And it's already some movement in the Tiger line, which is a veteran offensive line. Their captains anchor that line, people such as Adam Higginbaum, Jerry Peterson, and company. And also, with that 5-yard penalty, get the show you who was on defense for the Wildcats. This last week, they played an outstanding game against the Red Raiders of Barnstable. But the Tigers have incorporated what they call their own version of the run and shoot. But on first down, they go to Eddie Holt. And Eddie Holt is grabbed by a couple of Wildcats. Colin Murphy, 63, along with Jason Keenan, as the 2 just sandwiched up. Eddie Holt. Holt has got good speed, and he will be a person that the Wildcats will be paying close attention to throughout this one. Second down and 16 to go. And Holt lost the yard on the play. But Coach Bob Lane, with the Tiger Express that he is called, is run and shoot. Santos is young quarterback in the right side of the line, moving right off the bat before any snap count could even be barked by quarterback Steve Santos. And the Tigers are just putting themselves in a miserable situation. 2nd and 21.
Not a penalty against Taunton. Illegal procedure.
So the Tiger beginning
second down and 20 yards to go for the
has not been exactly well scripted. 2 procedure penalties and a loss of 1 by Eddie Holt. 2nd and 21. Lato in motion, movement again, and then let's see if the Tigers are going to be facing 2nd and 26. They have got the hat trick here in the beginning of the ball game. 3 straight procedure penalties about to be marked against the Tigers.
We have another penalty against Taunton.
The hat trick.
Illegal procedure.
Believe it or not, the hat trick. That is a, they say, well, they tell baseball umpires when they teach them that you never know. You will not see anything, everything that you can possibly see. I don't call football games for a long time as Santos out of the shotgun. 3 straight procedure penalties as Santos. Quick pass complete. And Holt trying to get away, but the Wildcats just stuck with him. As good hustle by linebacker Casey Antonovich. Antonovich stuck out in the flat with Eddie Holton would not let him get anywhere as far as running room went. So it'll be 3rd down. And the Tigers have to get it out to the 39-yard line. Then they're at their own 10.
You need to know what's accompanied by some Weymouth tacklers on that play.
And the Wildcats love to just come up with the play defensively here with the stop, not give much yardage. They'll get great field position as Santos on the bootleg left. Santos turning it upfield, and he is going to be brought down at about the 13-yard line as Eddie Farrell, the strong safety, came up and made the tackle. So the Tigers' first offensive possession was a wacky one, to say the least. 3 procedure penalties, a loss of 1 by Eddie Holt, a loss of 1 on a screen pass to Eddie Holt, and then the run by Steve Santos for about 3 yards, and Peter Buffington the punt. And Buffington rides out a short kick. Chris McDonald.
McDonald on the kick. Reception.
And Chris McDonald, they're going to say, rule for a fair catch. And I'm trying to figure out where Chris McDonald put up his hand for a fair catch. Wildcats will get good field position. One guy on the field in a striped shirt said that Chris McDonald put up his hands for a fair catch, and very strange call. McDonald had an avenue, and they're going to penalize the Wildcats for it. Procedure on the Wildcats. Field position, you can't ask for much better if you're Weymouth High. The Tiger 44, that is Ryan Quill, Jimmy Gagnon, Pat O'Toole and company will try to make things happen on their first possession. Jimmy Gagnon breaking through. Gagnon, second effort, will get a first down inside the 35 to the 34. As Jimmy was blocked initially at about the point of attack, and then he just spun away, and Chad Lopes finally had to corral him. But Chad had a tough time in bringing him down as the Tiger defense. They will use 3 linebackers as a switch to the 4-3 defense by head coach Bob Lane. He is very high on Tom Gagliardi, as well as Dario Cabrera. Those are the 2 as they were about to measure to see if the Wildcats did get a first down. But situation where those are the 2 that, when talking to head coach Bob Lane, he is very high on those 2, feeling that they are the ones who will make his defense go. And our first down of the ball game. On the Wildcats sideline, looking on. Strange beginning to this one. As the Wildcats from the 34. Mike Scott in motion. Gagnon tripped up. In fact, his own man got him by the ankle as he tried to get to the outside to Jimmy, and Brad Monroe will get credit for the tackle. But Brad Monroe just had to put his hands on Jimmy Gagnon, who tripped over his own right guard area. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Wildcats, who are on their first possession of the ball game. As they have 2 receivers, top of your screen. Milligan, quick hitter. Milligan breaking loose. Brian Wills. Goal! Touchdown, Brian Milligan! The quick hitting handoff to Brian Milligan, and he just barreled through the middle. And 33 yards later, the Wildcats are on top by the score of 6-0. Johnny Lydon will try to put the Wildcats on top, 7-0. As Michael Scott to hold. Lydon left foots it through. As maroon and gold comes blaring out from the Weymouth High band. It is 7-0 Wildcats. 6:09 to go, opening period. An early serenade to the crowd here at Legion Field as the Wildcats went 44 yards in 3 plays. The final 33 conducted by a Brian Milligan run. Johnny Lydon, squib kick, spins it as taken by one of the up people. 39, Paul Ventura, and Ventura could not get to the outside. Matt Tierney with the tackle.
Brought down by Angelo.
As Matt just hustling down on special teams, and not a long game for Ventura. And I have to apologize to Matt Tierney.
For Taunton on the 30-yard line.
And I realized that he came up to me before the game and he says, "Please stop calling me Mike, his brother." And it's just out of habit of the years when I covered when Michael played here as a cornerback. And the funny thing is, remembered it when I came back after the Silver Lake game. I said, "Oh, geez, I kept calling him Mike." Slato in motion, and Eddie Holt gets held up at the line, and Eddie Holt is an excellent running back, as you just saw. Jason Keenan got a hand on him. It should have been about a loss of 2, but Eddie Holt, who is a very tough individual, brings him down. Holt listed at 5'11", 170. Against Quincy. Did it on defense with an interception return. On 2nd and 8. Tigers at their own 32. Santos out of the shotgun. Getting pressure at Santos. Keeps his balance. Santos just running for his life. Flipping it back, and Casey Antonovich showing that you have to hustle and stay in the play, because that could have been very dangerous. It doesn't matter who he flipped it to. In this case, it was DJ Martinez, the center, that Santos flipped it back to. But the fact is that Casey Antonovich, hustling back into the play, made the tackle, and it'll end up as a loss of 3.
Backfield for Taunton.
As Steve Santos just kept on moving and trying to get free. Almost slipped and went down.
3rd and about 9 yards to go.
3rd down and 11 as Santos lost with a flip back. 4 on the play, and Eddie Holt, forget it. Wildcat defensive tackle Jason Keenan said that, "Eddie Holt, you're not going anywhere." Absolutely nowhere. A loss of 1 on the play because Jason just knifed through his block and made the tackle. So far the Wildcat defense and the first 2 series has come up with some strong play. And they'll see if they can get their hands on the football in good field position again. They get it at the Taunton 44 and we're able to score. And let's see on this Peter Buffington punt, which is a short one. Gagnon, who almost broke one a week ago. Jimmy down the sidelines. Jimmy trying to break loose. Gagnon has his shoulder pad twisted around his jersey, but Jimmy with an excellent return, they will say, to the 31 of Taunton. So if you're the Weymouth High offense, you start at the Taunton 44 and the Taunton 33 with your first 2 possessions. You've got to be a very happy group of players as far as the offense goes, because you can do so many more things with a field position. And they might be starting from their 38. Or check it. Taunton timeout. 3:52 to go. First period of play. It's the Wildcats 7, the Tigers nothing. Well, if you just arrived at Legion Field for this one, you've watched the Wildcats play extremely well so far. First 6 minutes they have owned. 44-yard touchdown drive. Brian Milligan's 33-yard touchdown run finishing it off. And then the defense, not allowing Taunton much of anything, is Ryan Quill on the toss pitch. And Johnny Lydon trying to turn the corner, gets about a yard. As Johnny brought down on the play by the Tigers, Peter Buffington.
Lydon with the ball running through the right side, brought down by number 44 of Taunton, Todd Blayton.
But the fact of the matter is, Jimmy Gagnon's punt return to the Tiger 33 set the Wildcats up in very nice field position. It's Chris McDonald, top of your screen. Split wide. Chris, who missed the first few weeks because of the appendectomy, is back in the lineup, and Leiden cuts back in nicely. Johnny trying to keep his footing. Leiden inside the 20 and down to the 17.
Leiden runs left rail.
Johnny Leiden almost broke it, getting it to the 17-yard line, where he is brought down in the play by Joshua Haston. As Joshua just got a piece of Johnny Leiden. Leiden was just stumbling and looked like he was going to go down for about maybe a 4 or 5 yard gain, but then Johnny just was able to recover and make it a 16-yard run. So 2 big runs so far for the Wildcats. Actually 3 if you look at it. Gagnon for 10, Leiden 17, and Milligan's 33-yard touchdown run. And the changed around Wildcat offensive line as Leiden that time tried to take advantage of it. Could not. Jerry Peterson bringing down Johnny Leiden.
Small loss.
Peterson could not.
2nd and 12 to go.
Allow Leiden to get outside. He made sure that Johnny wasn't going to and grabbed him for the loss. And mentioned the Wildcats have changed up the offensive line a little. Ronnie Cullen in a tackle. Bobby Wilhelm moved to tight end. Cutting back inside is going to be Leiden. Leiden inside the 15 and down to, well, inside the 20 and down to the 16. He'll gain 3 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down and about 7.
Right, brought down by Peter Buffington.
So we go on to 2 minutes here in the first period. And the Wildcats looking to punch one in
9 yards to go.
with a 7-0 lead on Taunton. As they face 3rd down, and they need to get it to the 8-yard line, 3rd and 8. Brian Milligan gets it inside the 15 and down to the 13. Peter Buffington brought him down, but a play where the Wildcats ran
up the middle, brought down by Buffington.
For success on their first series. Brian Milligan, 33-yard touchdown run.
Brings up a 4th and 6.
4th and 6 situation. And at the Tiger 13, the Wildcats are going to definitely go for it. Field goal will be about a 32-yard attempt. It's a situation, too. If they can get the first down, keep the ball moving, get into the end zone. 2-touchdown lead right off the bat says a lot. Squill flipping it back. Touchdown! Matt Tierney!
Pass completed to Tierney in the end zone. Touchdown, Weymouth.
Wildcats, well, they needed to get 5 on 4th down. They get 13 and go up 13-0. Matt Tierney came across the field, and Ryan Quill found him wide open in the back of the end zone. And it is Weymouth coming out smoking. Can almost say that a little bit of home cooking. Making things quite nicely right now as Johnny Leiden will make the look for 14th point of the ball game, and does not as he kicks it wide. Weymouth special teams get ready for the kickoff. Up 13-0 with 37 seconds to go here in the first period. The crowd across way is going to be quite stunned right now as their Tigers have been hit for 2 quick touchdowns. As Johnny Leiden with his 3rd kickoff of this first period. 33-yard touchdown drive, and well, Eddie Holt trying to shake Matt Tierney, and does. And there was a clip, and let's see if it is called, as Eddie Farrell got whacked from behind. But Steve Zeller able to bring down Holt at the 18-yard line, and the Tigers love the football there. Quite honest with you. Farrell crunch from behind. Well, the Tigers just got him and trying to prevent Farrell from really just coming in and crashing into Holtz. So 29 seconds to go here in the first period, owned by Weymouth High. It'll be Taunton ball at their own 18. Holt, quick hitter. Holt couldn't get ahead of steam because the Wildcat middle of the line
The ball carrier
brought him down. Jason Keenan got his hands on him initially, then Danny Steele was able to wrap him up after about a yard gain.
On the tackle for Weymouth.
And what could be the final play of this opening period. And if you're Weymouth High coach Ross Tatora, you gotta love the way the first 10 minutes of this one has played. You've had 2 possessions, you've scored them both. Taunton has had 2 possessions and has done very little. Lines, he's gonna be a happy individual. For the first 10 minutes, this team has dominated. Santos trying to pitch back in the option, thought about it, and then kept the football and got good yardage. Biggest gain of the game so far for the Tigers. He'll set up a third and about 3. Michael Scott brought down Steve Santos. But the Tigers will be going from left to right here in the second period. A situation where they were 3 plays and out in both series that they ran in the first period. They had minus yardage in that first period, and then Santos might have gotten the first down. So they will measure. Wildcats 77 total yards in that opening period. 44-yard touchdown drive and a 33-yard touchdown drive as the Tigers come up just short. Numbers going the Wildcats' way so far. Third down and 1.5 to go for the Tigers. Santos sneaks for the first down. Coach Bob Lane deciding that the best way to handle chores as far as getting the first down, use your quarterback, just push it ahead and be patient. Down 13-0. Wildcat defense surrendering their first down allowed. And Santos, bad pitch, loose football, and the Wildcats, Jimmy Gagnon scores! Or they will say no, that is on the pitch. It should be Weymouth ball no matter what. As Santos just a little bit of bad pitch and you cannot advance the pitch. It's not a fumble, so the Wildcats will get the football on a bad pitch by Steve Santos. And if you're head coach Bob Lane, you got to wonder what is going on. Right now, the Wildcats could put this totally out of sight. Jimmy Gagnon, fumble recovery. That's what it will be ruled. You cannot advance the pitch. Boy, if you charted field position for the first 3 possessions, as Brian Milligan is heading to the end zone for his second touchdown of the ball game. Brian Milligan right up the gap and just broke it for the touchdown, and the Wildcats lead 19-0. The right side of the Wildcat line with center Greg Yanovich, and the right side with guard Chris Harvey and tackle Ronnie Colin. They just opened up a huge hole at the point of attack, and Milligan shook off a couple of tackles after that, and it was Brian Milligan's second touchdown of the half. And right now, maroon and gold is going to be played for the 3rd time as far as game time goes. So the Wildcats will go for the 2 and make it a 3 full touchdown advantage with extra point. Quill. Oh, what a block. Chris Harvey throw for the 2. Credit Chris Harvey's block on that. He just crunched the Tiger defender coming in, and it's 21-0 Weymouth. Tiger fans have got to be wondering what is going on here, as the Wildcats need just 1 play to cash in on the Jimmy Gagnon fumble recovery and go up by 3 touchdowns. Johnny Lydon, it's getting to be habit forming for him. Taunton's Eddie Holt had trouble with the kickoff. Jason Keenan and company say that it's going to be a rough night for you. It's Keenan down there a whole host of people. Steve Zeller also in there for the Wildcats. So far, it has been all Weymouth. Taunton minus yardage.
First and 10 for Taunton coming up on
Weymouth.
24-yard line.
Has had drives of 44, 33, and 22. The Tiger Express right now has been derailed big time. So Wildcats are just going right after them. Santos under all sorts of pressure, running away from Colin Murphy and Jason Keenan downfield. And that was knocked down on the play by Michael Scott, who got back and knocked down the ball that was intended for Joshua Haston. It's Michael Scott with the play, but Michael Scott borderline on that play. And then I don't know if Michael really was playing the football or saw it. He just put his hands up when he saw Haston put up his hands to try to catch the ball. That could have been called for pass interference. Second and 10. Santos gets away from Keenan. First time, Keenan second time, slows him down, and along with Casey Antonovich, they sack junior quarterback Steve Santos, who's had a rough first half.
In the backfield. Bring Santos down for a loss.
Third down, and the Tigers have to get it out to the 34-yard line.
1 yard to go.
And we'll need 22 in this third down play as the Wildcat defense, which played so well against Barnstable, has just picked up the beat even more here tonight. They're just attacking Taunton at will. Santos fumbles the snap, recovers, and then just says hello to about 2 Wildcats. Right now it is all Weymouth High.
Picked up by Taunton, though.
Danny Steele, along with Johnny Lawson. The two just showed blitz. They came even quicker after they saw Santos fumble the snap. And Peter Buffington, like Johnny Lydon, has had a lot of work here in this first half kicking the football. Punt taken by Gagnon at the 39. Jimmy gets scissored and dropped at about the 30. Excellent coverage by the Tigers. As 15, Luke Correa, along with 77, Jerry Peterson, in on the tackle.
Joshua Haston in on the tackle.
Now, if you're charting this game, and I was bringing it up from the last possession that the Wildcats had, you've started at the Taunton 44, 33, 22, and now 31.
Ball,
your offense
31-yard line.
Doesn't have to do a whole heck of a lot when you get that type of field position. But then again, the way the Wildcats have moved the football at will, as Johnny Lydon gets about a yard on the play. Colin Murphy, Jimmy Gagnon, Wayne Masters talking to Colin Murphy, apparently banging up his forearm. Weymouth was determined to come right at Steve Santos. They have done that. Put the pressure on him early, and they've been very successful. Danny Steele. Steele held up and then dropped. Peter Buffington just held him, and Danny Steele didn't like the fact that while he was being held, Peterson and company just came in and smacked him.
Steele runs right, brought down by Buffington. Pacino.
Well, last possession, well, this 2 possessions ago, the Wildcats had to work hard for their touchdown. They'll have to do it here. 3rd and about 6 if they want to keep what has been a perfect average of possessions in the first half. It's Quill, Chris McDonald with the reception. He'll be short of the first down to the 24, as he'll be 4th and about 2.
McDonald, complete.
Chris just floating right into the seam, dropping himself right there, and Ryan Quill zipped the ball right there, and McDonald dropped right there as Chad Soderberg from his cornerback position made the tackle. Last fourth down play of the Wildcats head, they scored. They need 2.5 on fourth down. Toss pitch. Trying to spring his way free. It's Johnny Lydon. Lydon, second and third efforts is going to come up short. The Tigers do hold. As the Tigers able to bottle up the play. Paul Ventura and Joshua Haston just came up and plugged up the hole. Lydon could not really turn it upfield. He was prevented from doing so. And with 4:50 to go here in the first half, it is the first time that the Wildcats have been turned away. So a 21-0 Weymouth lead. Mark Ducharme with you here from Legion Field on Dimension 23. And the Wildcats have completely owned the first 15+ minutes. Santos throws it off the hands of his intended receiver, A6 Greg Lopes. Mark Scott was rolling up in coverage, 2nd down and 10, but one thing for the Tigers, they are apparently without, and I did not see Chris Cunningham, who's scheduled when the season began to be the other receiver, and you saw Cunningham, who is playing football for the first time. He is a basketball forward and decided to come out for football. But he has not been in the game so far, and tried to check to see who was there, and it's going to be 2nd and 15. You wondered if the first few minutes was going to determine how this game was going to go, as it'll be procedure on the Tigers. When you look at 3 of the first 4 or 5 plays, the Tigers had a legal procedure called on them 3 times. Coach Bob Lane is going to be doing a lot of talking as Brian Kelly just lassos Steve Santos. Santos looked to pitch as he turned the corner, and Brian Kelly just stayed at home and said, Steve, this play's done. And can be laissez-faire as far as the way this has gone, because the Wildcats have just totally owned the line of scrimmage. Holt has tried quick hitters up the middle, unable to move. Santos has tried to run the option, no success. Santos out of the shotgun, no success. Wildcats are just all over them. As Santos to throw on 3rd down, and a little dump off, and an excellent defensive play by Casey Antonovich, as he just planted Greg Lopes after about a 2-yard gain. As linebacker Casey Antonovich came right over and saw the play develop and just dropped the Tiger wide receiver.
14 yards to go.
And Peter Buffington's 5th punt of the first half. Chris McDonald and Jimmy Gagnon are getting a lot of work, and this is just a straight up in the air pop shot that a flag down in the play, and the Tigers are going to get the football and the fumble. Eddie Farrell had a shot at getting the football, and Paul Dunderdale got it, but I wonder if the flag is going to be called. There was a flag on the attempted catch of the punt. Yeah, let's see what the call will be. Holding Taunton. So the Wildcats avoid Taunton getting their hands on the football. The Wildcats are going to get the football once again on the Taunton 30-yard line. It's almost as they have taken out a real estate claim
which ends up with a 15-yard penalty.
So they're going to say it was holding, illegal use of hands. They're going to determine it that it was interference with trying to catch the football with the illegal use of hands. So the Wildcats, once again, they're batting 750. We'll get our baseball comment in there as Brian Milligan, fourth carry of the first half, gets him to about the 27.
Greg Lopes in on the tackle for Taunton.
Lopes bringing down Milligan, but the fact of the matter is that the Wildcats batting 750 here in the first half as far as their possessions go. 3 of the 4 times they have had the football, they have scored.
Gain of about 3, 2nd and 7 to go.
Going 44, 33, and 22 on their touchdown drives. The one that they weren't successful with was when they got the ball at the 31 of Taunton. Gagnon had the play snuffed out in front of him.
Gagnon brought down in the back.
Nowhere for Jimmy to go on the play, and a little bit of talking after the play. Tommy Gagliardi just came barreling through the hole and just stuffed him before Jimmy could get ahead of steam going. For a loss of 3, it'll be 3rd down and 9 to go. As Gagnon
on the 20-yard line.
almost losing all the yards to Brian Milligan gained on first down.
30-yard line.
Tigers have made some quick adjustments successfully. Quill on the bootleg, just gunning it deep downfield, and Chris McDonald has his hands on the football. Did he catch it? He did not,
Quill's pass in front of
as Ryan had to get rid of the football quickly. Ryan just hoping for a wing and a prayer to just try to get the football downfield, as he had the pressure put on him right away.
4th down, 10 yards to go on the 30-yard line for Weymouth.
Lopes came right through and had a good angle on Ryan Quill. So 3rd, 4th down play of the first half for the Wildcats. Quill sidesteps one tackle and cannot sidestep a second tackle, as Ryan just had all sorts of pressure from the right side. Gagliardi bringing him down, along with Jerry Peterson, as the two just came off the left side of their defense, the right side of the Wildcat offense. And Ryan never had a prayer of just getting rid of the football. He had to eat the football, and Taunton will have it at their own 33. So the Wildcats scoring their first 3 possessions, the last 2.
1st and 10 for Taunton on the 34-yard line.
They have been unable to get a first down. Tigers doing the adjustments that have been needed and preventing the Wildcats from running completely away from them. 1:39 to go, first half of play, 21-0 Wildcats. Toss pitch, Eddie Holt trying to get outside. He does, and Eddie Holt gets belted at about the 36-yard line. Patrick O'Toole just laid out Eddie Holt with a wicked shot.
For a 2-yard pickup.
Oh my gosh. Holt got away from the initial pursuit, and then Patrick O'Toole just came up and just leveled it. Brian Milligan had an angle on Eddie Holt and just couldn't wrap him. But Patrick O'Toole, oof. Second and 8. Santos on the bootleg. All sorts of pressure. Santos is dropped. Sack for Sean DeWitt from his nose tackle position. DeWitt just came storming through, and he, along with Colin Murphy, they bring him down for a loss of 9 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 15. As the clock keeps ticking. Along 11, the Wildcats
3rd down, 15 yards to go.
do have
first down.
all their timeouts. They might just see how Taunton plays it here on 3rd down and see where they can get their hands on the ball. This could be the approach that they are taking. And the Wildcat defense doing it again. Sean DeWitt
breaks through.
just eats up Steve Santos. 38 seconds and counting, and surprisingly, they are not going to call timeout Weymouth. Taunton has got to be very appreciative of that, the way this first half has gone. So the Wildcats could be content with a 21-0 advantage.
Fourth down. Coming up.
Peter Buffington line drives to kick out. Jimmy Gagnon will watch it roll. Dead at the 40-yard line of Weymouth. First time that they've had the start with the football in Taunton on their own side of the 50. And they will say that will end the first half with that punt. Weymouth, first three possessions, they score in all three. Brian Milligan with 2 touchdown runs as the Wildcats leave Legion Field ahead 21-0 after 20 minutes of play. Second half action coming up for you on Dimension 23. Stick with us, don't go away. Field all Wildcats. Whatever they did well in the first half, especially defensively. They lead 21-0 as they just completely shut down Taunton. Mark Ducharme with you here at Legion Field on a very beautiful evening for football. As Dario Cabrera to kick off for the Tigers of Taunton. As the first half had to be one that head coach Bob Lane of Taunton must have just said, whoa, what is going on here? As his team just took a beating at the hands of the Wildcats. All Weymouth first half as Cabrera spins a high kickoff. And it's going to be Patrick O'Toole trying to spin his way free. O'Toole trying to head up the far sidelines, and Patrick will get it out to about the 31-yard line, and by far the worst Wildcat field position is O'Toole brought down by Paul Dunderdale, who's been effective on special teams. Wildcats offensively just controlled matters. They did what was needed to be done. 3 possessions, their first 3 possessions, and they scored touchdowns on those first 3. The last 2, they were very sluggish as far as moving the football goes. And they'll have the football at their own 31-yard line with a first down. Quill, pitch on the option, Gagnon on the corner. Jimmy turns it nicely. Jimmy down the sidelines, just could not keep himself from going out of bounds. Ryan Quill held on to the very last second and pitched to Jimmy Gagnon. And Jimmy to the Tiger 47-yard line. Now the Wildcats scoring on drives of 44, 33, and 22. In that first half, they had over 100 yards of offense. Tigers minus yardage in that first half, 1 first down. As Weymouth ran the ball very well. Quill quickly on the slant pattern for about 7 yards, and that is the key for any receiver. And Chris McDonald, who's not afraid to go over the middle on the slant pattern with his second reception. Chris, who had an appendectomy just before double sessions and had to end up missing the first 3 weeks of the regular season, and has returned. Chris is an excellent athlete. You saw him during lacrosse. He started a few games last year at wide receiver as a sophomore. On 2nd and 3, it is going to be Jimmy Gagnon for about 2. As Jimmy gets to the 38-yard line. It'll set up a very short yard for the Wildcats. You see top of your screen where they are marking the ball. In fact,
brought down by Peterson and friends by Taunton.
They'll say that the Wildcats are a little bit closer than that ball marker indicates. They need to just realistically have Ryan Quill just push the ball ahead on 3rd down. And just takes a step forward if Greg Yanovich is able to lead him on that step forward, which tonight has been a foregone conclusion for the most part for the Wildcats. And they may not have gotten that first down. Brian Milligan just stuffed the point of attack. Gagliardi, Buffington, and Peterson all there. Well, it's getting to be a habit here in this ball game. Fourth down plays. First one, the Weymouth High Wildcats head. They scored on a Matt Tierney touchdown reception. The last two, however, they have come up empty. Quill fumbled, and Taunton will have the football at the 49-yard line as Chad Lopes comes up with a football. Quill, when he just got out of center, just got smashed, and Greg Lopes ends up with a backfield of Weymouth with the football. And the Tigers will have it, their best field position of the ball game, midfield.
On the 49-yard line.
And what looked like was going to begin a very good possession for the Wildcats comes up empty. They get the first down run by Jimmy Gagnon. Ryan Quill on fourth down, he never had a chance. As soon as he turned to try to start to run the play, he just got crunched from behind. Holt on first down. His best run of the ball game. Brian Kelly brings him down from behind. Stood up from the front by Brian Milligan. And Jimmy Gagnon.
Kelly in on the tackle.
5-yard gain for Eddie Holt.
On Weymouth's 45-yard line.
His best run of the ball game. Second and 5. And it'll be Holt again. Second effort, and Eddie gets about a yard or two.
In the middle of the line.
As Eddie Holt dropped by Jason Keenan. Holt also sidestepped as he was going down, an attempt by Pat O'Toole. Pat O'Toole had an opportunity, the way he was coming, possibly get his hands on the football, the way he came at the angle. Tigers need 2 on third down. Holt again in the backfield, dumped. Senior Sean DeWitt from the nose tackle position. That is the third tackle that he has made or been involved in for a loss for a Taunton player, either Holt or Santos. Sean DeWitt has been just all over the place in this one. And Peter Buffington drops back in punt formation, and Coach Bob Lane figures that if his defense, which has gotten better as this game has evolved, can start winning the battle of field position, and maybe his team can come back that way, as Buffington with a high but short kick. And I'll be honest with you, if you're in a maroon and gold shirt at this point,
Buffington on that punt.
You better get the heck away from the football, because realistically, if somebody was there and the ball bouncing, and could have hit them. Reason it. Getting a note handed to me here is Brian Milligan on first down. Milligan to about the 35-yard line on a gain of 2 for Brian, as Brian scored on his first run of the ball game, a 33-yard run. It's a 2nd and 8.
Hagen runs for a pickup of 2. Start by
I'm going to note the fact that Taunton would just reaffirm what I had earlier, that they do just have 1 first down so far. Second and 8. And the Tiger came off sides and ran into the right side of the Wildcat line. Ronnie Colin
down on the field.
Chris Harvey did not even have to move. They got banged into. It should be 2nd and 3 coming up, unless they did move. Wave off the flag. Unusual. It's funny because the Tiger play came across and hit into the Weymouth player. And apparently they'll say that it was movement and not sides. So the daily double on that particular play means that we'll just do it all over again. Toss pitch. It is going to be Gagnon. Waits, turns the corner, cuts back. Jimmy gets good yardage to the 37, and that will be a first down as he was finally bumped out of bounds by Dunderdale along with Lato. 2.
Picks up the first down for Weymouth.
We're able to bring down Jimmy Gagnon, who did a very nice piece of running. He waited and let the block in front of him develop from the receiver and the running back who was out with him. And then he cut back nicely. Straight ahead, Johnny Lydon crosses the 40 to the 41-yard line.
Up the middle.
As Johnny gains 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Johnny's had a couple of good hard runs in this one.
Tackle. Gain of about 1 4.
Now,
2nd and 6 to go.
It was a high voltage beginning as far as Weymouth High goes. It's more or less turned into a very quiet pace. The Wildcats doing whatever is needed right now. It's almost an early sit on the clock situation. On the delay, it is going to be Gagnon trying to break loose, and Jimmy cut down at the 45-yard line. As Jimmy is trying to spin away with the help of a Casey Antonovich block, Peter Buffington just stood in front of Antonovich, wouldn't let Antonovich get the block and push him back enough, or at least shield and let Jimmy make the cut. But still, it is a gain of 4, and it will be 3rd and 1 coming up. Milligan. Bryan, it's going to be where they mark it. Milligan to the 46. Has to get it out to the 47.
Milligan runs up the middle, stop by the middle of the Taunton line.
It's going to be short from where we are. We're directly across from the yardsticks and the markers. But the one thing is, if you're looking for a negative, you don't want to harp on negatives. But one thing is, for the Wildcats so far, short yardage situations, they have not been as effective, I think, as they would like to be. They'll have 4th and about a foot to go, and they will kick the football away. They've had some 3rd and 1 situations where they have not been able to pick up the first down since that first possession. That is the negative as far as this one goes. Other than that, they've done a lot of things quite well. And, you know, Taunton apparently will be getting their hands on the football. Jimmy Gagnon, who was hitting it at 37 yards per punt, had one sensational one a week ago when he put down at the 1-foot line of Barnstable. And he gets a high snap, and Jimmy in a heap of trouble. Dropped at his own 28.
Covered by Gagnon.
Gagnon just got his hand on it and didn't corral the football, and he just got crunched at the 31. Todd Lato just ran over Jimmy. Nothing could be done after Gagnon had the ball go off his left hand. And the normally sure-handed Jimmy Gagnon that time had trouble hanging on to the football, and it looked as though it was a snap that he could flag down. It was high. It rode on him, and it just As soon as it went off his hands, it was lights out for James. As Santos completed pass, Soderberg knocked out of bounds at the 23. Casey Antonovich and Brian Milligan make the tackle.
Pass, complete to Soderberg. Milligan in on the
Santos
tackle.
with a quick pass.
Gain of about 8 yards, second and
7-yard gain
for Taunton.
for the Tigers. They need to get it to the 21 on 2nd and 3 from the 24. 21-0 Weymouth. And out of the shotgun, it is going to be Santos. As the pass almost intercepted by Eddie Farrell, intended for Eddie Holt. Farrell came up quickly and converged and made the play as he knocked the ball down, almost got his hands on it. And it would have been an excellent interception if Farrell did get it, because Farrell had the ball going away from him. And it'll be 3rd down for the Tigers. And they'll need 3 from the 24. And definitely 2-down territory for Taunton. And if you notice, 56 in the backfield, Tom Gagliardi. He is the blocking type back as Santos changing up. And Gagliardi on the handoff. Gagliardi fumbles the football and Weymouth recovers. Casey Antonovich, who's had an outstanding game for himself, falls on it. And it's the 2nd time he's recovered a fumble this year. Or check it coming out of the pack is Josh Fillmore, but Casey Antonovich also in the vicinity. Take your choice. The two had the opportunity to collect the football, but the Wildcats turned the Tigers away after making the mistake. As after the
1st and 10 for Weymouth on there, 26 yards.
fouled up punt situation, the Wildcats able to hold off Taunton as the defense has played a terrific ball game. And it will be Johnny Lydon on 1st down, trying to push his way ahead. Lydon to about the 29-yard line for a gain of 2. As the left side of the Taunton defense
Lydon running
able to bring him down. Dario Cabrera
on the tackle.
and Todd Lato. As we go under a minute here in the 3rd period, 21-0 Weymouth. They scored on their first 3
Gain of about
possessions.
2nd and 6 to go for the 1st down.
As on 2nd down and 8, it's going to be Brian Milligan out to the 34-yard line. As Brian on the quick handoff, brought down by Buffington and Lato. Brian.
Buffington runs it up on the right side.
And the Wildcats could have possibly run their final play of this 1st quarter, of this 3rd quarter. Check that. As we go to 10 seconds.
Down, 2 yards to go.
Doesn't hurt Weymouth if they do let the clock run out. Start this next play in the 4th quarter, which they will not. Great blocking at the point of attack. Springs Gagnon. Gagnon is gone. Jimmy Gagnon on the toss pitch.
Runs all the way down for a touchdown.
As he just got great blocking at the point of attack, and the junior tailback just took off to the races. Well, the Wildcat offense, which has struggled at times ever since the 3rd possession of the ball game, gets back on track. The toss pitch. Jimmy Gagnon just took off and went the distance. And Johnny Lydon on the bad snap will make something out of nothing. Oh, Wildcats, 29-0. They lead after 3 periods of play here at Legion Field, as they have just done it with a very, very strong defense and a very opportunistic offense. Weymouth High fan, 29-0 after 30 minutes of play. Mark Ducharme with you as the Wildcats have just gone out and done the job here tonight. Well, Weymouth High head coach Ross Tatora told his team, he challenged them. He says, you got to raise yourself if you want to get into the next echelon. His team has accepted the challenge and made things happen as you watch Eddie Holt do the job on the kickoff return, taking him about 9 yards before he is dropped. But the Wildcats were challenged by the coach. They just said, look, you want to get to the next echelon? It starts tonight. It's a 10-game season. Here's week 4. You first of all take the step tonight. To paraphrase what he said, well, they've done that. They have allowed just 1 first down to Taunton in 3 quarters. They have recovered 2 fumbles from Taunton. Both fumbles have been turned into points. They have just made the life of Taunton High quarterback Steve Santos a living hell tonight. And a little bit of the old Dallas Cowboys maneuvers out of the shotgun. And Lato gets a 9-yard gain. The shuttle pass ahead. And Todd
brought down by Steele. Play was good for 9 yards.
Getting it up to the 35. You know, the one thing is Taunton with a quick huddle. I want to get to the Jimmy Gagnon touchdown run. As Santos and the pressure going down. Brian Kelly and Sean DeWitt were both there, and Kelly is the one who will get the sack because he just kept on coming, and Steve Santos could not get away from him, and it is a loss of 10. Total domination the Wildcat defense has shown here tonight.
Down and 11 yards to go for a first down.
They have done
25-yard line.
What you want to do to this Tiger offense. They call it the Tiger Express, and it has been derailed. The wheels and, in fact, the motor and everything has been stolen from it as Eddie Holt on the quick pass dropped by Casey Antonovich. And he, one of the chief architects here tonight as far as just derailing this Tiger Express. Taunton had one opportunity to make something happen for themselves in this game. That opportunity was shut down on a fumble recovery by Weymouth that they turned into a touchdown. And Peter Buffington with a high snap that he fields and just gets away. Gagnon. Jimmy breaks 2 tackles. Jimmy cutting it back up the middle and cuts back to the other side. Gagnon falls and he would have gone. And add maybe some more yardage, but Jimmy Gagnon was a step from going all the way.
Down on the field.
Jimmy Gagnon just couldn't keep his balance. He was tripped up by the Tigers. Adam Higginbotham,
Ticket number, winning number is.
as Adam Higginbotham just tripped him up, Gagnon just stumbled, and well, it was a situation where Adam Higginbotham doesn't trip him up. It's 35-0. And now timeout Weymouth. They still have the football at the Tiger 26 on this possession, and they will start emptying the bench. Yeah, the youngsters are having a good time watching high school players go at it. Ryan Quill and company congratulating one another. Why not? 29-0. They have been solid offensively, outstanding defensively in this one. As Greg Anglin takes over at quarterback.
1-8, 1-1, 8-4.
Johnny Lydon, Dan Steele, the backfield. Brian Anderson, the new Z-back. Lydon gets a couple. It's going to go back to the Gagnon punt return, and you could see at the end of the play a little bit of frustration by the Tigers in hammering Gagnon when he had gone down. But Jimmy, I was talking to his father prior to the game, and we were talking about how many times he was so close to breaking one, not only against Silver Lake, also against Barnstable. He was one step away each and every time, and tonight he broke one. That 67-yard touchdown run he had, getting some great blocks at the point of attack and just taking off from there. And then, well, on the punt return, he almost broke it again. Johnny Lydon gets about one, maybe two. And third down coming up for the Wildcats. Still needs 7. As the new offensive line will be coming in there as bits and pieces. John Meehan making his way out.
Third down, 5 yards to go.
Sees the new center. Billy Sheridan, top of your screen left. Anderson in motion. And Anglin on the bootleg. Anglin turns it upfield, and Gregg gets it to the 20-yard line where he is going to be brought down there.
England's campus to the right
Gregg.
side.
The run pass option type of play with a marker down. It might have been a face mask on the play. Yeah, illegal use of hands on the Wildcats on the Anglin run, and Peter Buffington looked over and says, should we take the penalty? And I believe that Coach Bob Lane will tell his troops, yeah, take the penalty, please.
Penalty is against Weymouth. Illegal block above the back. 10-yard penalty.
Illegal use of hands penalty on the Wildcats. As they will need on third down from the Tiger 32. They will need 16. As we go to 6 minutes and 30 seconds left.
To go for a first down for Weymouth after that penalty.
Toss pitch, and hello, Johnny Lydon is being introduced to Todd Lato. Lato just came barreling through and just ate up Johnny Lydon before Lydon could ever turn the corner. That's a situation that is going to be so frustrating if you're the tailback and somebody just comes knifing through like Lato did just there. As Chris Harvey runs onto the field. Jimmy Gagnon last time got a high snap. In fact, the last couple of snaps on special teams have been adventures in paradise. One good news for the Wildcats. And here's another bad snap. Gagnon just eats the football.
On the 43-yard line of Taunton. Taunton takes over 1st and 10 on the 43-yard line.
Well, the Tigers will get an opportunity with 5:33 left to try to make something for themselves. Three straight high snaps. And that one was just ready for takeoff. And now timeout Taunton as they will get another opportunity on a bad snap to make something happen. Wildcats 29, Tigers nothing. Football-wise for the Wildcats, next week, North Quincy coming to Legion Field. Always a very entertaining game between those two long-time rivals. At the present is all Weymouth. And they've left no stone unturned as the shuttle pass this time will get Lato about a yard after the first time getting him 9. Casey Antonovich in the middle of the pack, Josh Fillmore, and Jason Keenan.
Pick up a yard. 2nd and about 9 to go on the 43-yard line of Weymouth.
As we head to the 5-minute mark in this one, 29-0 Weymouth, and Santos airing it deep downfield over the middle, intercepted Jimmy Gagnon, and that was pretty. He goes down at the 11, he just lost his balance, but that was just a pretty interception by Jimmy Gagnon.
Oh, the intended receiver.
Santos did not have enough air underneath the football, and Gagnon, playing it like a free safety supposed to, just ran it down.
1st and 10 on the 11-yard line.
And there are a lot of heroes in this one for the Wildcats. And you got to put at the head of the defense, the front 7 as the leaders in this one. So Wildcats will take a timeout. 4:58 the Wildcats are from evening their record at 2-2. And the Wildcats try to work it out of the shadow of their own end zone. Up 29-0. And it's going to be sophomore tailback Jeff Zella running into one of the few people on both sides of the ball that is still in this game, as 58 Jerry Peterson, one of the 4 captains for this Tiger football team, with the tackle. 4:40 to go.
Handoff went to Zella for a gain of the yard.
I was talking about heroes prior to the timeout, but the fact of the matter is, when you look at the fact
Loss of the yard, 2nd and 11.
that the Wildcats' defensive front 7, in fact, shouldn't just say the front 7, should say the entire defense, is constantly attacked and not let up. But the 7 I mentioned up front because they kept blitzing and forcing a lot of bad situations for the Tiger offense. And that was the reason why it was just an easy day at the ballpark. 29-0.
Runs up the middle. He cast for Taunton on the tackle.
And it'll be 3rd down and 5 coming up. So the Wildcats did the things offensively that were needed to be done. They cashed in as they got the points on their first 3 possessions and could have had a great deal more as Zeller on the pitch. Zella turns the corner, breaks loose, and forget it. Jeff Zella, the sophomore, will go 83 yards, touchdown. On the toss pitch, he just said goodbye. Nobody in a Taunton uniform had a chance to get him as soon as he turned the corner. It was that wide open of an avenue for Jeff Zella, who gets his first varsity touchdown. And the Wildcats, Chris McDonald will try to make it a 36-0 game. Sean DeWitt, who threw one of the blocks to help spring him,
Shaken up on the play.
was shaken up on the play.
Good sign.
Chris McDonald, before the appendectomy, he was supposed to be the Wildcat kicker. Chris McDonald connects on his first point after the year. 36-0 Weymouth is headed. Night to remember. Jamie Barrett will get the opportunity to kick off with 3:20 left. And the Wildcats have not left much doubt as far as this one goes. And all night long, they have just dominated. As Kevin Sicardi just get dumped.
On the tackle for Weymouth.
But this entire evening, the Wildcat coaching staff, which is to my left where I brought the cast from, they just packed it up and called it an evening. As the Tigers take a timeout, 36-0. Wildcats will leave in their record in style. I mentioned earlier the Wildcat coaches headed down. Offensive coordinator Barry Barassa congratulates young Jeff Zella on his touchdown run. Barry saying, hey, I used to do it that way too. But the Wildcat defense is the story of this game. They have just ripped through the Tiger defense. They have just made life miserable for Coach Bob Lane's Tiger Express. As Santos has been taken out of the game, and nearest the second first down for the Tigers on that pass play. Paul Dunderdale on the completion to Dennis Graham as he gets it out to the 43. Gaurav Adida with a tackle. But the fact of the matter is,
gives him a first down to Taunton.
Fact of the matter is that the Wildcat defense, whoa, they've just been phenomenal tonight. Toss pitch, Fumble football. Weymouth will get it at the Tiger 36-yard line. Joe Curran, along with Sean DeWitt, the nose tackles for the Wildcats. And 2:35 left. The Wildcats will just run the clock out.
On the 37-yard line.
2 first downs on the ball game for the Tigers. The Wildcats, they put the teeth into the Tiger attack and just ripped it apart. And just right now, it's a matter of getting the right people in there. Timeout Weymouth. 2:35 left. They'll celebrate a 36-0 victory. Well, the Tigers winning their first 2 games of the year, beating Durfee and Plymouth South. Last week, the Quincy, as Presidents just ran over them. And tonight, the Wildcats have continued the Tiger frustrations. They just made life miserable. It's Chris Walsh with his first varsity handoff. Again, it's going to be Walsh. Rudely greeted on that one by Dario Cabrera. Cabrera, one of the few Tiger starters still in there as we go down to 150 and counting.
Brings up a 3rd and 5 yards to go.
Just a matter. Final numbers in this one. The Wildcats able to do whatever they want, especially defensively, as it's going to be Zella. First down run to the 23. And he is an excellent tailback. Jeff Zella, a sophomore.
Zella runs up, stopped by Hatcherback.
The depth of this Wildcat skill positions, which is supposedly, when you looked at the on paper prior to the season, where the strengths lie.
First down for Weymouth.
Gagnon, Leiden, and Zella make life very, very pleasant for Coach Rostator and his staff. Chris Walsh to the 19. Possibly 1, maybe 2 plays left in this one.
Cabrera in on the tackle for Taunton.
I got Cabrera on the tackle.
Yards, 2nd and 6 to go.
"35 seconds and counting." It's a matter of finding out the final numbers. Englund on the keeper. Gregg dives out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. In fact, they'll mark it on the 15. At the 19 seconds left. Only one more play.
Out of bounds.
Curran on the handoff. Joe gets it to the 10 and a first down. They'll mark the football, and that will probably be the final play. And Coach Rostator says to his offense, no more. No more. You've done enough tonight.
First down for Weymouth.
From pillar to post. The old cliche should be used in this one. It was the Wildcats' night. 36-0 Weymouth. First quarter touchdowns from Brian Milligan and Matt Tierney on a pass from Ryan Quill. And then in the second period, Brian Milligan again. Third period, Jimmy Gagnon. Fourth period, Jeff Zella. Wildcats dominate as they roll away from Taunton. 36-0. Weymouth with the victory. As that will do it from Legion Field. For everybody at Dimension 23, glad you joined us. Mark Deshawn telling you final score once again. Weymouth 36, Taunton 0. Good night from Legion Field.